everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Janet and today I'll be talking to you about how to improve your scores in the express entry pool. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that anytime I have new videos, you'll be notified. Now, the express entry has become very competitive and a lot of people are getting discouraged about whether or not they can compete in the express entry. If you don't know anything about the express entry and you want to know more, check in the description below for the link of my previous video where I talked about the step-by-step of the express entry. There are some few things you can do to improve your score and stay competitive in the pool. If you want to know more, come along with me and I'll show you what to do. So before we go ahead to talk about how to improve your scores and how to get awesome scores, we have to understand the distribution of the pool. We want to see what are the different scores in the pool, and then we can know how to compete or how to improve our score. So to be able to see that, you can go to the IRCC website. On this page, you can see the rounds of invitations. This is about the draws that are conducted every 2 weeks. It gives you a true picture of what really happens and also the distribution of the individuals in the pool. So if you scroll down a little bit more, you will see that the last draw was conducted on 10th of June. As of the time of this recording, the date is 18th of June 2021. So it was 8 days ago that the last draw was conducted. It was conducted for the Canadian Experience class. The Canadian Experience class means that these individuals have a work experience in Canada. This is a special one because at the time of this recording, there was a pandemic, the COVID, and so a lot of people are not able to come into Canada. And the Canadian government has also put a pause on issuing foreign visas. So for now, it's suspended, but you should continue preparing because as soon as that suspension is lifted, they'll start issuing foreign visas again and people can start coming in. So for this class, they were able to receive about 6,000 invitations. Now, what is very important and I want you to take note of is the distribution of the pool. You want to see the number of people that are in the pool and what are their scores. So as of June 7, 2021, we have about 747 candidates with a score between 601 to 1200. And we have candidates, about 1948 of them, that have scores between 501 and 600. We have about 33,140 that their score ranges between 451 and 500. If you look at this has a huge number. Remember, you need to compete against others. You need to be amongst the top few to be invited. So you need to find yourself at least around here. So between 451 to 500. If not, your chances becomes very slim. If you look at this distribution even further, you would see that between 491 score to 500, we have about 1,123. And then there are 3,309 that their score is between 481 and 490. For those that their score is between 471 to 480, there are 9,107. And those that their score is between 461 and 470, there are about 10,082 of them. Okay, so if you even go further, we have 451 score to 460, we have about 9,519. You can see that this is where we need to be, around here, somewhere in the middle, maybe between the 461 to 480. This is where we need to be, at least to be able to compete. If you go anywhere lower, the competition is very difficult. So we need to go back and check what we need to do to make sure we have that winning score. So let's head over to the CRS tool to see how we can get that winning score. So you go to the CRS tool and then you can fill out the questions and see your potential scores. Now, if you have not done this before, I suggest that you do it right away and check what are your chances of getting the winning score. For the link of this, check the description below. You can use that, or you could just search it up or Google it up. Okay, so all we need to do is to fill out the questions, answer the questions. So first question says that, what is your marital status? So let's use an example. We can't do everything, so we'll just use one example. So let's say this person is single. And then, how old are you? I'll just say this person is, say, 30. Okay, so let's say this person is 30. Now, in the whole process of the express entry, I would say that time is very, very important. You can be losing time by the day of you not acting. So you need to act right away. If your age is between 20 and 29, you can get the maximum score in this category for age. As soon as you turn 30, then you start losing 5 points every year. So that's why I said time is very, very important. Okay, so let's say this person is 30 years old, and the level of education this person has, whether he earned it in Canada or outside of Canada, but an ECA was done already. So let's say this person has a bachelor's degree. Have you earned a Canadian degree or diploma or certificate? For most of you, this would be a no, except if you are in Canada and you studied in Canada, then that would be a yes. Official languages. Canadian official languages are English and French, so you need to take a test that is less than 2 years old. So at this point, we have to assume that yes, we have taken it. Even if you've not, you have to say a yes, because remember, all we're after is to check if we can go ahead and start the process. So if we say no, know that the tool will tell you are not eligible. So we have to have an English or French exams done. So let's go on and say that we do have that. And which one did we take? There are a number of options. So you can take an English exams, either a CELPIP or IELTS. Those are English exams. Or a French exams, either TEF or TCF. So let's assume that we took IELTS. What is your score? So let's say you have 7 in speaking, 8 in listening, 7 in reading, and writing also we have 7. I realized that with this combination, you're able to get good scores. Anything below this, yes, you will have a score, but it's usually very little. Most times it's below 400, and we need to have at least 400 and above, right? So you have to have this combination at least 8 in listening and 7 in the rest. And then let's assume that you didn't take another test, only that IELTS exams. Let's see what would happen. Okay, so work experience. What is your work experience? Have you worked in Canada before? For most of you, this would be a no, but if you have, then you would have some additional points there. Okay, in the last 10 years, have you had any foreign skill work experience? So we want to know how many years of foreign skill experience that you have. As much as possible, let's use the 3 years, the maximum, because the lower, the less the points. And then, do you have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province, territory, or federal body? Now, this is for those that have skilled trades. You could go to provinces or territories or a federal body that can issue a certificate after you've taken an exams and they feel that your skills are good for them. So they can give you a certificate. So for most of you, this would be a no, okay? But if you do have it, that would be a yes. So in this example, we're just going to assume you don't have any. And then valid job offer. Do you have your valid job offer? For now, let's assume that you don't have any. And then a nomination certificate from a province or a territory. This is a provincial nomination program. So you could go to the provinces and apply for their nomination program. If they do give you, then you can have that additional point. But for now, let's say you have not done any of that. So remember, we are just trying to see your eligibility. Next is, Do you or your spouse or common law partner, if they will come with you to Canada, have at least one brother or sister living in Canada who is a citizen or a permanent resident? For most of you that you do not have, or this, you are the first person in your family doing this will be a no. But if your siblings are coming later on, then they can claim points from you. And take note, it says it has to be a brother or a sister, right? So it cannot be your cousin, it has to be your blood brother or your brother by adoption or by marriage, either stepbrother or stepsister. So for most of you, it's going to be no, but if you do have it, that will be additional. Now we'll calculate our score and see. If you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see that you only have 424. That's not sufficient because remember we said we want to have at least 461 to 480. So we need to improve on the score. Now, what can we do to improve the score? There's so many things we can do. Number one, and which is my favorite, is for you to go back to school. Okay? Go back to school and do a certificate program or a diploma, if you can, even another degree. If you can, I suggest just do a certificate or a diploma for just a year or so, and then that could work. And you will need to do an ECA for that certificate as well. So instead of saying that you only have a bachelor's degree, you would say you have 2 or more certificates, right? So you have the bachelor's degree and then you still have another certificate. Now let's see how this changes things for us. Let's calculate your score once again and see. 457. You're really close to getting that mark. So maybe what you need to do here, just to make sure you cross over that 460 mark, is probably get additional scores in your English exam. So probably you're able to get, let's say speaking, you got 7.5. Okay, so let's go back and calculate and see what it looks like. Going down, 460, right? So once you know that you go to school, you're able to get that additional point, then you know what to adjust here and there to be able to get your score. So what if you do not want to go back to school? What other options are available for you? What you could do is to write a second language exams. You can write a French exams. So here I said you are going to be taking the TEF. So you've done the IELTS already. Now you're going to be taking a TEF exams. So here, since it's the second language, you don't really need to have huge scores or perfect scores. What you could do is kind of just have an average, right? Just an average. All right, so here let's just assume these are the scores that we had. Not so great. Okay, so maybe we had that. Okay, so let's calculate the score. And then we can see that your score is this, just because you took French. Somebody might be thinking that, oh, I don't think I can learn French. Don't say that. My father learned French when he was 50. If he can do it, you can do it also. Right? And I feel it is worth it. If you have that additional language skill, also in Canada, you will be sought after. So why not? Go ahead and learn French. Okay, so that's the second option. So what if you do not want to go, just go for 1 year to get another certificate and you do not want to take the French exams? The third option available is for you to get a valid job offer. It's very possible to do that. You could do it yourself or you could get an agency to help you with that. With time, I'm also going to be creating videos about that. So watch out for that and how to go about getting a valid job offer. So let's say you have a valid job offer. So let's say yes. Remember, it has to be within this skill set. So type 0 or A or B. Okay, so let's say you didn't get like type 0. Type 0 is for the managers, those managerial positions. So let's say you had either an A or a B.
All right, and then you don't have any provincial nomination, you don't have a sibling. So let's go on to calculate your score and see what it looks like. Now your score is 474. Remember, before we had only 424, but you have additional points that you can compete with others. With this, you know for sure that you can receive an invitation to apply. So that is the third option, to get a valid job offer. Fourth option is, let's say you couldn't secure a job. Okay, so you didn't secure a job. Okay, but you decided to go to the provincial nomination. So you decided to go apply for the provincial, and you would get additional 600 points that we added to your 424. So let's calculate the score and see. Imagine you're going to be having a score of 1024. So you have additional 600 points that you can add to your current score. Is that not awesome? Okay, so that is how you can improve your scores. The fifth option is most recommended for married couples. If you have a spouse, I recommend you go through this whole process with your spouse. Even if the spouse is not willing to relocate immediately to Canada with you, that's fine. At least they have their PR, they can relocate anytime. Now you need to also have your spouse to write an English exams or a French exams, and also have an ECA done for their credentials. So you have to answer some few questions about your spouse. So you would say that you're coming to Canada with your spouse, and then you have to answer questions about their educational qualification. So let's say the spouse has a bachelor's degree, and then does the spouse have any Canadian experience? For now, that would be none. And if the spouse took a language test, yes, your spouse took IELTS, let's say for example, and had about 7 in speaking and 8 in listening, while 7 in the rest. Okay, so let's calculate the score now and see. Now your score is 458. That is a good score. It's almost close to the mark of 460. So all we need to do is to improve a few things here and there to make sure we have that score. For married couples, another good thing is that we are dealing with two individuals. You apply together as one application, but one has to be the primary applicant and the other one would be accompanying. Now, since there are two of you, any of you could be the primary applicant. So you would need to calculate the scores, assuming one is the primary applicant and the other one is accompany, and then switch it up a little bit and see which one would give you a better score. So you see, you have two chances of getting better scores. So for every other person, I recommend that you explore this tool and make sure you're maximizing your points. So for example, if you've only had 1 year of working experience, you know you need to try to maximize it by working for 3 years. So work additional 2 years to be able to maximize your score in that category. So check the tool, use it, explore it, and make sure you get that winning score.
So that's it, guys. I hope this video was very useful to you and you found it very informative. If you enjoyed this video, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, and you'll be notified every time I have new videos. See you next time.